Hello and welcome back to Larry's Lockdown Lessons. This time around we're going to take a look at my arrangement of the classic timeless song Edelweiss from The Sound of Music. If you haven't heard my performance of this song yet, you can check that out. I've put the link in the description for this video, and you can also download the tab as well. So I've tabbed out the whole thing. So download the tab and watch this video and you'll be a master in no time. So we can split this arrangement up into two parts. Part one is played quite freely, and it's to kind of set the scene of the song. Part two then moves into a bit slightly more structured in terms of the tempo, and you also have to play the counter melody, which is the vocal line that Captain Von Trapp's daughter sings in the film, which is a lovely sound when you put it all together on the one instrument. So let's take a look at part one first. So the first thing you have to do here is put your guitar in the drop D tuning, so it should sound like this. Okay, so you basically just drop it's pretty much standard tuning, but drop your lowest string from E down to D. The next thing you need to do is put a capo on the first fret. So effectively this song is now in E flat major. You don't have to do this, you can play this open, or you can put the capo anywhere really if you want. The reason why I'm doing this is because that is the key which I recorded the song in. So if you watch the performance video, it's in E flat major. So if you want to play along with it, you have to do this as well. Don't ask me why, I just preferred the sound of it. It sounded a bit slightly more brighter, who knows. So part one goes like this. So that's your low D string, and a slide from the second fret on the fourth string up to the fourth fret on the same string. That's your first note. Next note is here, which is the second fret on the third string, giving you that chord. So what you've played so far is a D major. By the way, even though this song is in E flat major, I'm going to talk about it as if it's still in D major, as if there's no capo on, because I don't want it to become too confusing. So we're thinking in D major, even though with the capo on it's in E flat major because we've changed the key. So now the next chord is an A chord with a C sharp in the bass, and this is the sound you're going for. Okay, so what I'm holding down here is on the fifth string is the fourth fret using my ring finger, then the second fret on the third string using my index finger, so it's those two strings, and open top string. So that's the chord itself. So it's an inverted A major chord, and the reason we say that it's inverted is because the C sharp is in the bass instead of the A being in the bass. Now there's a technique here that you may want to try and master to get the same kind of sound that I go for, and that is this. Now this is quite hard to explain, and it may not look like I'm doing much. What I'm doing here is allowing everything to ring. Okay, so that's the first step. So you still might hear that D string ringing out from the last chord, even though we've changed chord. So all of that should ring out, and you also want to sort of lock your elbow down here into this part of the guitar. Okay, lock it down and sort of rock the neck back and forward. Not too hard. You don't want to break your your neck. Okay, and it almost gives you that sort of vocal like vibrato. So you really want to have that sort of that sound very suspended up in the air with not too much going on, and just those three notes ringing out. Well, four notes if you count that low D. Okay, it's very, very effective, especially if if you're playing this live and you get through an amp, or you can through an effects pedal with a nice touch of reverb on it. It can be very, very effective, even though you're not doing a lot really. So the sound is okay. It's a really nice sound. Next chord is an inverted D. We say that it's inverted because the F sharp is in the bass instead of the D. So that's the shape there. So that's using your ring finger to fret the 4th fret on the 6th string, using your index finger to fret the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and using your middle finger to fret the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. Okay, and the strings you're going to be hitting are primarily those 3. You can also bring in that open 4th string if you want to make it a bit more of a complete D chord. So far you have once you get to that part, that's hammer off that using your 1st finger down to that open G note on the 3rd string. Once you hit that, use your ring finger to bring in the 5th fret on the 6th string, making a G chord. So you have this. Again, try and let that all ring out. Alright, next chord is, so that's your open 6th string, and a hammer on from the 2nd fret to the 4th fret on the 4th string. Okay, just fix this cable here, I'm getting a bit of buzz. So once you're there, you're then going to play that. So that is adding. That might sound a bit strange, but it'll hopefully it'll sound okay in context once I play the next chord. So you have what that is your 4th fret on both the 4th string and the 5th string, and then immediately drop that down to the 2nd fret on the 5th string. So the whole thing is okay, so you have from there open G, 2nd fret on the same string, here you have an E minor 7 chord. Now I use my thumb here, so what I'm doing there is I'm just fretting the 2 lowest strings on the 2nd fret and just go up through the strings. If you want, you can use your first 2 fingers on your left hand, or your right hand if you're left-handed, or you can use your 2 middle fingers. It's completely up to you. I prefer to use my thumb because I know then that I have all 4 fingers free should I want to play a certain chord, you know. It's just what I'm used to. Okay, so that's the chord. So I'll play the whole thing. Next chord is there, just two notes really. So that's it's an A chord with the C sharp in the bass. So the C sharp is there. That's the 4th fret on the 5th string, and the other note is using your 1st finger to fret the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. If you want, you can bring in the 2nd fret on the 4th string as well to give you this sound. It's completely up to you. It's quite nice just sort of with both notes there instead of making the whole chord. But again, it is up to you. You can give it a bit of that again. Sorry, that's the button on my shirt sleeve. Okay, so that brings you back round again. So all same again. Now at this point we're gonna change. So there's our hammer on again. Now these chords are, so that's an A major chord. Well, it's an A major with a 3rd, so I suppose it's an A5 technically. So what all that is open 5th, 2nd fret on the 4th, and 2nd fret on the 3rd. Immediately we're going to change to this chord. Okay. that chord is open A, so open 5th string, 2nd fret on the 4th string, 1st fret on the 3rd string, and then immediately after that, I'm going to play all this in context in a wee second, immediately after that you're going to swap to an A7 chord. So the A7 is open 5, 2nd fret on the 4th, open 3rd, 2nd fret on the 2nd. So everything should sound like this. So what's happening here is your melody's doing this, and your harmony's doing this. So if you put them both together, it sounds like this. It's a nice sound. The next chord is just a nice big full D chord. So that's open 6, open 5, 4th fret on the 4th string, 2nd fret on the 3rd string, 3rd fret on the 2nd string. And you can play a suspended chord there by bringing in the 5th, use your pinky to fret the 5th fret on the 4th string. And back again to the D major. Okay, so after that nice big D chord, the next shape is this. And that is an A major with a C sharp in the bass. Okay, and the way you grip it is this. Use your ring finger to fret the 4th fret on the 5th string, bar the 2nd fret on both the 4th string and the 3rd string, and then use your pinky to fret the 5th fret on the 2nd string. Okay, that note is your melody note. Okay, so it goes like this. So what I'm doing there is, as long as you have this shape down, the melody is there on the 2nd, then on the 3rd string, that is. At this point, you can just swap to a normal A major chord in just the 1st position, and that is 2nd fret on the 2nd string, open on the 2nd string, 2nd on the 3rd string. So the whole thing is this. It's alright. At this point, just play the open 6th and slide from the 2nd fret to the 4th fret on the 4th string. So that's where your melody is. The next chord is this. That is the 5th fret on the 4th string along with the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. So it kind of gives you an implied sustained chord, like a D sus chord, or an implied A7, I suppose. It really depends on what way you want to look at it. After that, just a normal D chord again. So I'll play the whole thing for you. At this point, fret that note. That's where your melody note is. So that's 2nd fret on the 3rd string. Then bring in this F sharp in the bass, which is the 4th fret on the 6th string. Then play your open D string, so the 4th string. At this point, it's open 2nd string, which is a B note. Then straight away bring in this G bass, which is the 5th fret on the 6th string. Right, this next shape is quite tricky. Then this is only half of it. Excuse me. So, use your 1st and 2nd finger to fret the 3rd fret on the 2nd string and the 4th fret on the 3rd string. And make sure you still have that G in the bass there. So from this D chord. Now at this point, you need to stretch slightly. Keep this grip down, but you're going to move from here up to here. So you're going to move from the 5th to the 6th, and also use your pinky to fret the 6th fret on the 4th string as well. So it should sound like this. Now what I'm doing there is playing 6, 6, 4, 3, 0. So what you've created there, you've moved from a G chord to an E chord with a G sharp in the bass. So play those again. 4, and then just a normal A major. Okay. So and that's just hammering on from the open 2nd string to the 2nd fret on the 2nd string, and then there's a slight run down, like a scale lick here, which goes like this. So that's starting here on the 2nd fret on the 2nd string, go from there to open, then down to the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. So you have open 3rd string, 2nd fret on the 4th string, sorry, from there you fret the 4th fret on the 5th string and open 5th string. Let that ring out for a bit, and you're back to this, which is in the beginning. Now at this point, after your melody note, which is here on the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, I'm going to play a gorgeous chord here, and it's actually a very simple chord to play, but it sounds very impressive. It's an A minor 6, and the way you play this is, I use my 2 last fingers, so that's my ring finger and my pinky, to fret both 5th frets on the 4th and 3rd string, and play everything as an arpeggio, so strum the whole thing apart from your lowest strings. You're going to start this on the 5th string, and it'll sound like this. It's a nice chord. Okay, at this point, play your bass again, bring that D note back in, then a G chord. Okay, and the fingering here is 5th fret on the 6th string, open 4th string, 4th fret on the 3rd string, and 3rd fret on the 2nd string. Now here I play this. And that's not me sort of losing my grip on the fretboard. It is to try and emulate the sound of a singer. So it's a grace note. So I'll try and slow this down. That's starting on, it's tabbed out by the way, so you should be able to read along with the tab if you download that. That's it slowed down. So it's starting off on the open G string, hammer onto the A, slide up to the 3rd fret, slide back down to the 2nd, and then hammer off. So the whole thing is this. So in context you have this. Once you play that open 3rd string, just bring in this. This is the 1st fret on the 5th string, so you're making this a G minor with a B flat in the bass. And just play the 5th string, the open 4th string, and the open 3rd string. Well, you'll have the open 3rd string ringing from the last chord you played, so you only have to really play the 5th and 4th strings there. After that, you're back to our slide here, and you already know this part. That's okay. We only have one more chord here to play before it brings us into part 2, and it's this. So basically this is, there's probably the correct name for this is probably some sort of a sustained chord. It'll be on the tab. I think of this as like a G chord with an A in the bass, and replace that top G note with the A note, which is the 5th fret on the 1st string. So you'll have gone from and just let that all ring out. That then is going to lead us into part 2, which we're going to look at now. Okay, here's part 2. So the main difference between part 2 and part 1 is that we're adding the counter melody, which is the vocal harmony, if you like, that Captain Von Trapp's daughter, whose name escapes me, is it Liesel? Can't remember. She sings this in the film along with him, so he'll sing the main melody, and then she comes in with the counter melody that has to be played at the same time, which is quite tricky, but I'll walk you through it. It also has to be played in much more in tempo, so there'll be none of these sort of these kind of floaty chords. We'll have to play this in time. So it begins pretty much like the last one, like part 1. Now instead of playing this, which we played the first time round, we'll have to play this to make sure the counter melody comes in. The counter melody is this. So in the film he sings Edelweiss, and once that top note comes in, she sings. So you put them both together, it should sound like this. Didn't play that very cleanly there, I'll just do that again for you. So that's it. So to do that, that's the same as the first time round. Once you hit that top E note, which is the open 1st string, at the same time you have to play your open G string plus the 4th fret on the 5th string. So it sounds like that. So basically the way I would think of that would be as an A7 chord with a C sharp in the bass. And those 3 notes get played together. So don't arpeggiate them, that will be played exactly at the same time. So it should sound like this. Then you bring your 2nd fret on the 3rd string in. So that's the sound you want there. Then bring in the C sharp note up here, which is the 2nd fret on the 2nd string. Next chord is just a D major with an F sharp in the bass. Same as before. Once you get to this part, you're going to be playing this together. So the counter melody here goes like this. Edelweiss. So those are the notes that you have to play along with what we played the first time round. So the first chord here is the G note on the 5th fret of the 6th string, and then the open 3rd string and open 2nd string. So okay, then there's no counter melody in that part, so it's just exactly the same as it was in part 1, except you have to play it in time. Same again. Same again. Okay, so that's all pretty much the same as before. Now this time, instead of playing this chord, which we had in part 1, I've changed that, and the way you play this is you slide up to that shape. So just slide up from nowhere. You can slide up from the first fret, second fret, doesn't really matter. I wouldn't hang around too long down there, otherwise you get that sound. So straight away bring it up here. So that's an A major chord. That's open 5, 7th fret on the 4th string, 6th fret on the 3rd string, 5th fret on the 2nd string. Then play, so your melody is on the 2nd string. Then the melody goes down there, which is the note you're holding down on the 4th string. Then up to the 3rd string. Now at this point, take your index finger off, because the next note you want is actually this open. So and then back down to the 4th string. So the whole thing is, and you're going to slide that down to the F sharp here, which is the 4th fret. And once you come down to that note, bring your open 6th in. And there's that shape again from part 1. So the whole thing. Swap into that inverted shape. Okay, instead of going down here, this time we're going to go up to that shape again. Okay, and there's another lick down which sounds very similar to the first lick, which was here, except we're going to play it up here. If you want to just repeat that, you can. It's just for a bit of variation. The notes are pretty much the same, I think. And the way this one played is, this uses open strings as well, so it may sound slightly more fluid. So what you have here is, again, the 7th fret on the 4th string and the 6th fret on the 3rd string. Play that, play the open 2nd string, then play the 7th fret on the 4th string, open 3rd, then you're coming down here to play the 2nd fret on the 4th string, 4th fret on the 5th string, open 5th string. So back to this again. Our lovely A minor 9 chord, bass back in, G chord. Now instead of doing this time, we're going to bring the melody up here, where it is in the original. So so to play that, this is a G minor chord. What we need is just a bar, the 3rd fret on the 1st, 2nd and 3rd strings. If you want at this point, you can also make this a very tense sounding chord by adding an A in the bass. So it gives you a G minor with an A in the bass. Duh. Okay. And it can be sometimes effective if you play then bring the bass in. Very tense. Your ear just is crying out for it to resolve. Just a normal D chord there, and then same again. Now at this point we're going to change to some sort of F suspended chord. Again, I'm not too sure of it's a D minor with an F in the bass, but there's probably another much more technical name for it. It'll be on the tab. I have to check all these chords first, you see. Anyway, what you're looking for is this sound. So that is the 3rd fret on the 6th string, open 4th string, 2nd fret on the 3rd string, 3rd fret on the 2nd string, and you're going to play this pattern. Okay, so that's the pattern you're going to play here. At that point, you're going to change to this. So what I've done there is I've taken off the 2nd fret on the 3rd string and just played that string open, and I've moved that 3rd fret on the 6th string down to the 2nd fret, so it should sound like this. And I use my thumb there. Now this next chord is an this next chord is an E flat major 7 chord, and it should sound like this. So what I'm doing there is I'm barring the whole 1st fret with my 1st finger and fretting these two. So I'm using my ring finger and my pinky to fret the 3rd fret on the 3rd string and on the 2nd string. So that whole section goes like this. Once you get to that point, just resolve it to the D chord. So I would advise you to use this grip here. So I know usually we play a D chord like that, but for this I'll advise you to use this grip. Now, you don't have to play that top string. And the reason why I'm saying to use this grip is we're going to finish the song with a lick using these strings here. So if you're already in that position, it means you don't have to shift position. And the lick is this. And what that is, if that sounds familiar, is that's the first vocal line from the song The Sound of Music. So, my days in the hills have come to an end, I know. So I just thought that was a nice wee touch to add, if I do say so myself, to add in. So even though the song's Edelweiss, it's a nice sort of tip of the hat to one of the other songs in the soundtrack. So the whole thing. Okay, so I'll just talk you through that last lick. So that's use your pinky to fret the 5th fret on the 1st string, and then release it, and you should hopefully still have this grip. Then use your pinky again to fret the 5th fret on the 2nd string. So once you've done that, just strum the whole thing, giving you like a D. Let me see now. Is that a D9 chord? I think that's a D9. So, or if you want to strum the whole thing. So that's the whole song. Hope you enjoy that. Good luck.